The eve of the Inter-Korean Summit that the world is patiently waiting for. We are breaking away from our normal news lineup to bring you the details of that summit, soon to be announced by the South Korean Presidential Chief of Staff, also the one who had chaired the Inter-Korean Summit Preparatory Committee. And from that, we may be able to learn more about the timing of the summit between the leaders of the two Koreas, as well as some of the other details that hadn't been disclosed, like the path that President Moon will be taking from his office. Now, the final touches are being made in preparation for that summit, with officials from South Korea said to be holding their final round of rehearsals sometime today at the location where the actual summit will be taking place, the Truce Village of Panmunjom. Now, 6 aides who will be accompanying President Moon Jae-in tomorrow will be at that rehearsal, and it also follows a joint rehearsal on Wednesday where officials from both sides carefully coordinated details from facilities to camera angles and even to lightings. And in moments' time, we are going to cut to a scene where Presidential Chief of Staff Kim Jong-un, who's also the head of the preparatory committee, will be giving a briefing about that summit at the official press center set up at the Kintex Convention Center in Goyang, just north of the capital, Seoul. Now, the Secretary Im is also the person who chaired the Inter-Korean Summit Preparatory Committee, as I just told you, along with other representatives from different ministries. And we are going to cut to that scene in a moment, but before that, it's not just the diplomatic efforts that are being carried out to prepare for the upcoming Inter-Korean Summit. Also, in terms of the military side, it has been reportedly said that the military is also making special arrangements for the talks. We know that the annual Full Eagle joint military training exercises involving both the troops from the South Korea and U.S. reportedly being cut short. And what you are seeing at the scene and the screen is the actual official press center of it at the Kintex, and we are going to cut live to that scene. Im Jong-seok, Presidential Secretary of Committee.
Thank you very much. Your great attention. Thank you once again. And we have many foreign correspondents who are joining us today. I would like to extend my special thanks to them. Now, I will brief you on the schedule for 2018 Inter-Korean Summit. President Moon Jae-in and Chairman Kim Jong-un will begin their historic first encounter at the Panmunjom military demarcation line tomorrow, April 27th at around 9:30 a.m. Chairman Kim Jong-un from the north will cross the military demarcation line between the Panmunjom Neutral Nations Supervisory Commission NNSC meeting room T2 and T3. President Moon Jae-in will stand in front of the military demarcation line in front of the NNSC meeting room to greet Chairman Kim Jong-un. The two leaders will meet at the military demarcation line and be greeted with our Guard of Honor and will walk by foot to the venue of the official welcoming ceremony. At around 9:30, the two leaders will arrive at the Panmunjom Square, in between the Freedom House and House of Peace, and hold the official ceremony with the Guard of Honor. In 2000, President Kim Jae-jung, and in 2007, President Roh Moo-hyun, when they each visited Pyongyang, the leaders of the two Koreas were also greeted by the North's military Guard of Honor. After the greeting ceremony, the two leaders will greet the official entourage of the two parties, ending the welcoming ceremony. And then the two leaders will move to the venue of the summit, House of Peace. On the first floor of House of Peace, Chairman Kim Jong-un will sign the visitor's log and take a photograph with President Moon Jae-in. The two leaders will exchange short messages in the reception room and move to the second floor. At around 10:30, they will begin the summit meeting for the peace and prosperity on the Korean Peninsula. Once the morning meeting comes to an end, the two parties will separately have lunch and time to rest. In the afternoon, the leaders of the South and the North will plant a commemorative tree to wish for peace and prosperity. On the military demarcation line, which was a symbol of confrontation and division for the past 65 years, the two leaders will be planting a pine tree that symbolizes peace and prosperity. The location will be the Cattle Road near the military demarcation line, where late Chairman Chung Ju-young visited his hometown in the north with his herd of cattle. Pine tree, the favorite tree of our people, has been designated as the commemorative speech. It's a pine tree of 1953 when the armistice agreement was signed. When planting the tree, soil from Halla Mountain and Baekdu Mountain will be used together. And after the planting, Chairman Kim Jong-un will water the plant with water from Hangang, while President Jae-in will water the plant with water from Taedong River. The rock signage will read "Planting Peace and Prosperity" and will include the signature of both President Moon Jae-in and Chairman Kim Jong-un. After the joint planting of the tree, the two leaders will walk up to the Tobo Bridge and exchange short dialogue. This bridge was built right after the armistice agreement, when the NNSC walked in and out of Panmunjom to reduce their walking distance. It was built on top of the swamp of Panmunjom. It was called the Footbridge by the UN missions and was translated later into Korean into Tobo Bridge. Marking the 2018 Inter-Korean Summit, the bridge has been expanded. And on the part of the extended part of the bridge, it links to the military demarcation line itself. And the fact that the two leaders, I'm curious whether the two leaders will walk towards this point. And after the walk, they will move to the house, the Peace House, to continue their afternoon meeting. After the summit, the declaration will be signed and presented. As for now, to deliver vivid updates of the agreed contents, we would like to do a joint declaration presentation, but the format and the location will be determined later upon the agreed contents. And from 6:30, the welcoming dinner will be held on the third floor restaurant of the Peace House, where all the entourage of the both parties will come together. It will be followed by a farewell ceremony. And here, the two leaders will watch a video clip on the media facade of the Panmunjom Peace House. And the theme of the clip is Spring of Unity. And with the historic Panmunjom Peace House as the background, beautiful footage and music will express the past, present, and tomorrow of the Korean Peninsula. The friendship and historic moment shared by the two leaders of the South and North will be also witnessed together with the entire international citizens. With this, the official ceremonies come to an end. Continuing, I will now announce the list of participants from the North. There is a total of 9 people. Kim Young-nam, President of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK. Kim Yong-chol, Choi Hui, Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. Lee Soo-yong, Kim Yo-jung, First Vice Department Director of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. Lee Myung-soo, Chief of the General Staff of the Korean People's Army. Park Young-sik, Minister of the People's Armed Forces. Lee Yong-ho, Foreign Minister. Lee Son-kwon, Committee for the Peaceful Reunification of the Fatherland. And a total of 25 people who support Chairman Kim Jong-un will be joined at the official dinner. And in addition, on the official participation list from the South, Chung Kyung-do, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, has been newly included. And my final words, this Inter-Korean Summit is focused on denuclearization and a permanent peace on the Korean Peninsula. North Korea's nuclear, and when at a time when its ICBM is highly developed, the fact that we are coming to a denuclearization of its arms is very different from denuclearization of the 90s. And this is a very important focal point of the summit as well. When the South Korean envoy visited North Korea, we talked about how the two leaders will agree on the level of denuclearization. And we agreed that it's difficult to put these into words. And even if we do achieve denuclearization of the North Korea, it is also hard to decide by the working level whether we will be able to realize a complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. This task is now up to the hands of the two leaders who will talk during the Inter-Korean Summit. And for that reason, I have said that the joint declaration presentation will be determined tomorrow. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions? We are joined.
Now, there you have it. The detailed schedule of the 2018 Inter-Korean Summit is out. We just heard from the chairman of the Inter-Korean Summit Preparatory Committee, Im Jong-suk, about the details. The South Korean President Moon Jae-in and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will have their meet and greet at 9:30 a.m. Korea time, South Korea time, that is. And the welcoming ceremony will follow, including the Guard of Honor, shortly after at around 9:40 a.m. Then the morning session of the summit will begin at around 10:30 a.m. at the Peace House on the South Korean side of the Panmunjom. And we also learned the finalized list of North Korean delegates who will be accompanying the leader Kim Jong-un. For more, we're going to cut straight to our Hwang Ho-jun, part of the Panmunjom press pool, who is reporting live from the press center at Kintex for the latest batch of details about the summit that we just learned. Ho-jun.
So as you said, we finally have a set time for the historic meeting between the leaders of the two Koreas. Just moments ago, Presidential Chief of Staff Im Jong-suk, who's chairing the Summit Preparatory Committee, announced that the first encounter will take place at 9:30 a.m. Korea Standard Time at the border village of Panmunjom. So let me give you and our viewers a brief wrap-up of what we can expect that can happen tomorrow. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will cross the military demarcation line between the Military Armistice Commission T2 and T3 building, which is where he will be greeted by South Korean President Moon Jae-in. The two will then walk together toward the Peace House and review the honor guard together as part of the official welcoming ceremony. Now, when they enter the building, Kim Jong-un will sign the guest book on the first floor. And starting at 10:30, the summit meeting between Moon and Kim will take place on the second floor of the Peace House, which will be followed by lunch. In the afternoon, the two leaders will plant a ceremonial pine tree on the military demarcation line in recognition of their historic meeting, and then they will take a short walk together near the JSA. And then once they actually return back to the Peace House, they will sign and announce a statement of agreement, but the format and the location of the signing are yet to be determined. And then starting at 6:30 p.m., a welcoming dinner in honor of the North Korean leader will take place. And the historic day will end with a farewell party.
What a packed schedule that will be tomorrow for all of us here at Arirang, covering the news and entire press coverage there. Thank you, Ho-jun, for that update, part of the Panmunjom press pool, who was reporting from the press center at Kintex. Now, that's a wrap for us at the hour. We will be back with our normal news lineup at noon Korea time in less than an hour's time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.